Judge Tarlika Nunez-Navarro, great to have you here, Judge. Thanks for taking the time. This is a big revelation. The first thing I thought about, okay, if I take these allegations as true that the stepbrother sexually assaulted and killed her, and he finds out that she had sexual relations with a juvenile on that cruise ship, is that motive? Is this jealousy? Is that what you think is going on here?
Good evening, Jesse. Yes, I mean, that's certainly one possible theory that the prosecutor can take. But I'm thinking to myself, as a judge and seeing so many of these cases, I'm thinking this is an end for the defense to say, what and what is this? We have a second minor. We have her having sex with this minor. So what more do we not know? So I'm thinking more of a defense perspective. This is a reasonable doubt opening.
In other words, when you have another player in a case like this, you're going to see defense attorneys potentially pointing the finger. I mean, I guess they'll do it two ways, right? I mean, when they'll say, hey, what a sloppy investigation. How do you know where this DNA came from? Why are you telling this so late? When did you know about this? Did you know about it after you made the arrest? Or is it the defense going to point the finger at this juvenile teen as the killer?
Absolutely. That's two possible defenses. If I put on my defense hat, I'm thinking, who else was in that room? I want to know where the sex occurred. I want to know, who this minor is. I certainly want to make sure that all questions are asked. And like you said, the FBI agent didn't take DNA from the neck. So how can we say that this was in fact Hudson? These are all questions that the prosecutor will make sure they have to address with the jury.
Was that a big deal what the FBI agent said regarding the DNA on the neck and regarding whether, the injuries and the strangulation and who may have done it?
It's as big of a deal as the defense wants to make it. So it's up to them. But at the end of the day, the prosecutor, the government has a burden, and that's to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a murder occurred and that Hudson did it. So whatever holes they can poke in the prosecution's case, the better off they are.
I guess I'm a little confused as to two parts here, right? Is there a situation where the DNA evidence, the forensic evidence, is going to be so strong that the defense is going to have a problem to say that Hudson didn't sexually assault Anna, that they may have to admit that, but say, hey, he didn't murder her? But because I don't know if that would work. I mean, a stepbrother sexually assaulting his stepsister, if the jury hears that and hears that potential admission, that's going to be a connective link that they may not get past and say he had to have killed her too. I mean, you tell me how I should be thinking about it.
Listen, you can think about it however way you want to think about it. You can put your prosecutor hat on, you can put your defense attorney hat on. I'm thinking as a prosecutor, as a former prosecutor, I'm thinking I have an uphill battle because I have a second minor who she had sex with either days before or the same day. So was she having consensual sex with her stepbrother? Was this maybe not a rape? And does rape equal murder? No, absolutely not. So these are all questions then and holes that the defense will definitely be prying into.
I don't want to make accusations here, but just to be clear, you're saying there's a possibility, and correct me if I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. Is the defense going to use this evidence to tarnish the reputation of Anna, to cast her in a certain light in a way? And how exactly would they do that?
Well, I hate to be the first one to say that, but that's what happens. I've certainly sat on all sides of these cases as a former judge, as a former prosecutor, as a former defense attorney. If I'm thinking like a defense attorney, I'm thinking she's having sex with other minors, she's having sex with the stepbrother. You as a defense attorney, you can throw a plethora of reasonable doubt at the wall and see what sticks. As a prosecutor, you have to wear the white hat. You have to seek justice in everything that you do, and you have to have evidence that collaborates every single thing that you're putting forth to that jury. So it's not equal. It's not both sides, as you know, Jesse.
Well, I know, but at the same time, if you're taking the prosecution's allegations that he was the only one in that room with her, and now you add this, and we go circle back to the top of the conversation that, maybe if they're going to try to present this to show that he was jealous and, what was going on here, it becomes a very different case. So it does depend how you look at it. It's just an interesting development nonetheless. Judge, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.